I am a small statured person with no beard and weak wrists, but that doesn't mean I don't know anything about trucks. So if you give me a chance, we can explore this truck together. We will have fun. If you're still watching the video, which you probably aren't, this is the 2018 Ford F-150. You may notice that this looks a lot more like the Super Duty, which is the F-350. Or you may also say, what are you talking about, stupid? That's the F-350. You don't know anything about trucks. Why are you wearing a flamingo bowling shirt? It's not a bowling shirt, but it was the wrong shirt choice for this video. There are 7 available trims. There is the XL, the XLT, the Lariat, which is what this is. Then there is the King Ranch. Then you have the Platinum. Then you have the Limited. Then you have the Raptor. It really does look like a Super Duty, especially because they now have the 2-bar grille and the C-clamp headlights. The old headlights used to only come out to here or something, and now they extend a lot further. So these come standard along with the LED fog lights on the King Ranch, but you can opt for them on any trim. So then this is the Lariat, but we have the LED lights, but then we just have the halogen fog lights. Also, this whole body is supposed to be military-grade aluminum. Apparently, it's different than regular aluminum, I guess civilian-grade aluminum. Because with this military-grade aluminum, I guess it's heated up to super high temperatures to make it harder. And also, this has adaptive cruise, so then what you can do with the adaptive cruise is it will go with the flow of traffic, but if you stop for more than 3 seconds, then you're gonna have to re-engage it, but that's not a big deal. You shouldn't be relying on your car to drive you around in the city anyways. That's a good way to cause accidents. Let's look at the side of the vehicle. This is a 5'6" box. This is the smallest box you can get. So there are 3 different box sizes available. There's 5'6", there's 6'6", and there's 8 feet. We have side steps, but if you get the Limited or the Platinum, then you can get some retractable side steps, which I like quite a bit, but I actually like having these ones more because they look nicer. Did you know that this can tow 1,000 pounds more than it did last year? 400 kilograms more. That's pretty decent. It has best in-class towing, and because this is a full aluminum body, this is, I think, 400 pounds lighter than it was last generation. Here is the key. And hey, this is cool. Watch this. That is cool. That was an industry first when that came out a couple years ago. And this also comes standard with a remote start when you get the Lariat anyways. And remote starts, those are expensive when you buy them. It actually has cross traffic alert and blind spot monitoring that will work with a trailer up to 36 feet. If you are, we've all driven really long trailers before, and you change lanes, you don't see the vehicle that's to your left, you just blow them right off the highway. This will help prevent that, because then you'll actually be able to, it'll tell you, hey, don't change lanes, you don't want to hit that tiny car beside you. Also, there's this really cool feature in here, where it's like some sort of backup wizard, where you have this little wheel, a little knob. I'm not talking about the steering wheel. I know what a steering wheel is, but you have a knob on the dashboard. And when you're backing up a trailer, if you want the trailer to go left, you have to turn right, and then vice versa. So with this, you just turn the knob the way you want the trailer to go, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, I bet there's a lot of like hardcore purist truck drivers who are so upset at that. They're like, I spent 20 years learning how to back up a trailer. Now you're gonna get Joe Bob off the street to back up a trailer all of a sudden. I understand where you're coming from. I think it's upsetting that they're making driving so easy and safe. Trust me, I understand. This is the longest cab that you can get on an F-150. This is the Super Crew. It is very, very long. Very long. And really stretch my legs out. So, but when you get the Super Crew, then you can't get the 8-foot box, which I think is, it's kind of funny. You would think that the people who need the really big truck would also need a really big back but it doesn't work out that way. You were limited to this 6'6" or the 5'6" box, and of course, again, this is the 5'6". When you get the Lariat, which is what this is, then that's when you get the body-colored bumpers and the body-colored grille. So any trim below that, which is the XLT or the XL, then you get the chrome bumpers. And if you get the XL, which again is the base model, you actually get black plastic bumpers. And then you'd also get the black plastic handles and the black plastic mirrors. F-150 is now stamped on the tailgate, and this comes standard on every trim. And then you have your backup camera. Also, backup camera is standard on every trim, and I think that's really cool. Another thing that is also really cool about the back of this truck is that you have LED work lights. Look at that. All of a sudden you're ready to work in the back of your truck. Also, of course, you have your slow release tailgate, which I think should be on all trucks. It's very nice. Right here, you have the radar taillights, and so then that's blind spot monitoring. Another thing that I actually really like about this design is the fact that it is a one-piece rear window. You know how some vehicles have 3 panes? It just has one, so it's, I guess, a little bit of a smaller opening, but if you want to open the back window, then I guess it just looks nicer. It's time to look at the engine. This is the 2.7 liter EcoBoost. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but that's a small number. I want a 7.9 liter with 1,200 horsepower to tow my family and my 69-foot trailer. You know what? Just because it's a small number doesn't mean that it's not very capable. This is a very capable engine. This has 325 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. That is less than half the size of the engine in my Ram 1500, and it tows more, which is just... It's also the most efficient option you can get in this truck, with 11 liters per 100 kilometers combined. So there are 5 different engine options available in this vehicle. There is the 3.3 liter, which comes standard on the XL and the XLT. And then you have the 2.7, which is this, and this comes down with the Lariat. When you buy the Lariat, you get this engine. There is the 5 liter, which comes standard on the King Ranch or the Platinum. It's really fast and very, very powerful, but I kind of like this. I like this. This is efficient. 3.5 liter is available on the Limited. That comes standard with the Limited. And there is the 3.5 liter EcoBoost that comes with the Raptor, which is 450 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower. And in the old Raptors, it came with a 6.2. So this is basically half the size, and I guarantee that the new Raptor is faster than the old one. So every engine on every trim that you can get in this vehicle has auto start stop. It comes standard. So that's that thing where when you stop at a light, then it'll turn the engine off, and then it'll turn it back on once you take your foot off the brake. And I personally don't really care. Like, it doesn't bother me. Some people hate that though. And there is a button just on the dash that you can just press and it turns it off. But let's look at the interior. We are in the interior of the F-150. I usually think that cars are more comfortable than trucks because cars usually have softer seats and they kind of wrap around you, but this is very comfortable. I like this a lot. It is pretty comfy. So this is a Lariat. Again, 3rd trim from the bottom, 4th trim from the top, so very mid-range. And it's still, like, the fit and finish is still really nice. When you get the King Ranch, then you have the 8-inch Sync 3 touchscreen that comes standard. If you don't have that, then you get, I believe it's a 4.5-inch screen right here, but this is the 8-inch screen, and then you also have another 8-inch screen that is in the center here. This also has blind spot monitoring that you can turn off and on. This truck also has work lights on the side mirrors, and there's just buttons here. You can choose which side to light up, which is really cool. They're actually very, very bright. And then right here, you have your trailer backup assist. And this has on-the-fly 4x4. So what you can do is if you're in 2 high and then you want to change it to 4 auto, apparently you can just shift it and that's it. You don't have to put it into neutral or anything. It does all that for you. And let's see, let's take a look at this screen. I think it's pretty decent. That seems pretty responsive. And it has gestures so you can pinch and zoom. But the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is going to be way better than this. I hate how with some vehicles you don't really have much control over the climate through these buttons. You have to navigate through the menus, and to adjust the zones you have to, hit all these confusing things. So right here, you can just, all the zones are available right here, and it's cool because you can use all 3 zones at once. Most cars are only 2. That's really cool. But when you get the Limited, you have 360 view, and so then you have a camera in the front, on the mirrors, in the back, so then you can see what's on the side of your vehicle. And also, you have a hitch trajectory, so that will tell you when you're backing up. It'll have a line and show you where your hitch is going to go. It's so easy to drive trucks now. Every Joe can drive whatever truck they want. You can also get massaging seats when you get the Limited. So like I said, this has a 10-speed transmission. There are manual shift buttons on the side of the shifter, but if you get the Raptor, then you have paddle shifters, which are way cool. This has a B&O sound system. It sounds amazing. It sounds so good. I could not believe it. It's one of the best sounding sound systems that I've ever heard. So here, this is your auto start stop button. Very fancy. And then you have 2 USBs here. Oh yeah, there's also, I think most trucks have it, but they are power adjustable pedals. If you're really short, then you can drive a truck still. You don't need, the old broomstick. Here's a really interesting thing about the key. Did you know that you can set scheduled times for your truck to start, different intervals? See, here in Canada, what we have to do sometimes is, if it's a really cold day, they have to go out at lunchtime if you're at work and start your car for like 20 minutes because it's so cold that it might not start at the end of the day. That's happened to me many times. Many times. You don't want that to happen. That sucks. It sucks to boost a car when it's really cold out, because then you get frostbite and your fingers fall off. That is so much. There's so much room. I don't want to repeat old gags, but I could fit half my body in there. That's crazy. Also, push button start comes standard on the Lariat and up, which is nice. Another kind of cool safety feature is with the lane departure warning. You're straddling the line, then it's going to beep at you, and if you don't do anything, then it's going to vibrate the steering wheel. It's called haptic feedback. So it'll vibrate the steering wheel. It's like the car's way of saying, hey buddy, wake up, don't fall asleep. And then if you still don't do anything, then it's just going to adjust the torque apply different amounts of torque to different wheels, and then just keep you in the lines. Let's go check out the rear seat. There's so much room. Let's do it. This is the back seat of the F-150. So this is the Super Crew, and this is the largest cab you can get. There is so much room. Look at all of this room. There's also a flat load floor, so there's no transmission tunnel, and that is very impressive. Very impressive. Look how much room there is. Amazing. There's also storage down here, which is really neat. I think that's really cool. You can put stuff underneath the seat, and there is a subwoofer under the seat as well, which is pretty cool. And you have heated rear seats, and new for this year are these 2 USBs in the back for charging, so you can't actually hook up to the infotainment system, but that's still nice. Your kids nowadays have like so many things. In my day, we had the yak back, and that was it. Really very big back seat. Ooh. There's also a lot of cup holders. You have these cup holders here, but in case you have like 4 people in the back seat, then there's 2 more cup holders here, and there's another cup holder right here. There's map pockets, and it's a back seat. It's pretty basic. But when you get the Limited, then you get the inflatable seat belts. I know you're thinking, that's a really funny joke, but it's not. It's not a joke. Instead of having airbags that come out of the seats, like I said, that don't exist, you can have little inflatable pouches on your seatbelt that inflate, so you don't get as injured when you when your driver plows into a house or something, which happens every now and again. But look at all this room. I can literally stretch my legs out. That is just crazy. That is nuts. Wow. Very, very impressive. It's more comfortable in the back seat than the front, I think, which is good. You're going to impress a lot of people, a lot of bosses. I don't know why you'd put your boss in the back seat, but you could. You can do whatever you want when you have a truck this nice. So, I think that's about it. I would say that it's time to drive this, but let's wait a couple months until my hair grows longer and I change my shirt. So the Lariat starts at $45,000 Canadian, and that is $15,000 more than the XLT, which is the second trim from the bottom. That's a really big gap between trims. So the way the trims work with Ford is there are 7 different trims, which is a lot of trims, but this is a lot of truck. So the way it works is you get the Lariat, and you can add a bunch of extras, and this vehicle right here is $67,000. So this has $22,000 worth of extras on it, which is a lot of extras. It has heated and cooled seats, and it has navigation, and it has the fancy B&O sound system, which is a funny name for a sound system. B&O Railroad, body and odor. Also, it has the fake wood, but the fake wood comes standard with the Lariat. So this is a 3.7 liter, which means this only has 325 horsepower, which doesn't seem like a lot for a big old truck like this, but it also has 400 foot-pounds of torque. I am not an engine specialist. I don't build engines in my spare time like your friend Graham, but you know what? I think that 400 foot-pounds of torque is a crazy amount of torque for 2.7 liters of engine. This is an EcoBoost, so it is it's turbocharged, but crazy. 400 foot-pounds of torque. It's very, very, I mean, definitely quick for 2.7 liters. Yeah, it's very comfortable. It's extremely comfortable. I also like the handles, how they're recessed into here. But you know how sometimes you get those weird impulses where you want to just open the door on the highway? That happens to me a lot. And I don't usually do it, although I did once. I was in a big work truck and I opened the door, and for some reason when I opened it on the highway, the door just like swung open. And well, for a long, long time, Ford used Sony as their premium audio system. They now have a new audio system. I don't remember exactly what the B&O stands for. It's like Bang & Wilkerson or something like that, but apparently it's really, really good. And there's an available kicker subwoofer that can be found underneath one of the seats in the back, which is really neat. So let's test out the sound system. Jesse, turn the sound recorder down. Oh! Wow. It's a very impressive sound system. I would say this is pretty comfortable. The seats are really very soft. Ooh, bolstering. Not bolstering. What's it called? Lower back support. So, the F-150, as we all know, it's been revamped for this year, which is pretty cool considering they redesigned this in 2015, a complete redesign. So now this is a refresh, like a mid-cycle refresh. And I think they did a fantastic job. It's a really, really nice looking vehicle. It's a very nice looking truck. It performs well. It has best-in-class towing and best-in-class payload and best-in-class fuel efficiency. And this is a 2.7 liter, and it drives fast. So if you like what you saw in this video, you should let us know in the comments below. And please subscribe. We need more subscribers. We have 20,000 subscribers. You know what? Let's make it a goal to get 40,000 subscribers by tomorrow. We can do it.